Today's video is the last video of Blue Week, where I was taking a mono blue list and just trying it in a bunch of different classes. This is the assassin version. Same list, we've traded out 4 cards just like we have every other time. This time we have 3 Blackhand Messengers and the Queen. And that's it. Deck code will be in the video description like always, but we're going to do what we do, which is jump on the ladder, play 2 games, win or lose. We hope for wins, but you can't win them all. Sometimes we split them. We really don't want to see 0-2s. They have happened before when I'm recording, but we don't like it, right? We like pretending like I'm actually good at this game. I know it's a big pretend, but we're going to do what we can. Now, I do think that Assassin's probably my second favorite of the group. I think Sorcerer is my favorite of the mono blue list because Sorcerer's negation is super powerful, and High King Emirate just fits really well in the list. Assassin, I think, also shores up some of Blue's just inherent issues. We'll throw this back. But right out of the gate here, we are matched against Tribunal. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, you know that Control Tribunal is a bit of a problem for our list. We are a mid-range list. If they have the answers, if they can go 1-for-1 for all of our threats in the early game, then we'll just lose. Like, sounds like a big bummer, but that's because it is a big bummer. But we're gonna do our best.
No, that's not
We're gonna
right.
start with a Lazra, because that's what we got. And they're gonna start with an Execute. And so it begins. We're gonna go with a Cunning Ally. And they're probably gonna hit us with a Channeled Storm. And we're gonna play Cunning Ally the next turn, and they're probably gonna hit that with, I don't know, whatever. And then we're just gonna lose. Like, that's just how it goes against Control Tribunal when you're playing these blue mid-range lists. Oh, interesting. They did not have the direct answer, but probably still going to have some sort of answer. I think we just push the damage here. I don't want to waste a ring charge to get rid of the 1/1 here. So that could have found Archcannon, which is a bummer. That could have found Edict of Azura, Sorcerer's Negation. Wow, they have Reverberating Strike! Well, alright, there's the blowout that we were waiting for. Now we definitely just lose. We're going to do the Harpy because we want this Baron to just not be a 4-cost 3/3, but I don't think that we... I don't think we win after that Reverberating Strike, gang. A lot of the control lists have cut Reverberating Strike, but it would appear not our opponent. We could do the Baron here, but I really feel like developing Daggerfall makes more sense, so let's do this. Still don't think using Firebolt here is great, though. But yeah, we are, again, going into, you know, our turn 6 this next turn. Our opponent still has all of their runes. That's usually just overall a bad thing for us. That's going to eat Daggerfall. They very aggressively got rid of that. And I don't understand why, because I don't think Daggerfall's your worst enemy. We could just eat Reverberating Strike on their end. I'd prefer to eat something like Edict or whatever it is that they found with this.
I will not be on the wrong side of history.
But I guess it's going to be this. Not going to play the Lesser Ward because, again, they've played 0 Javelins, they've played 0 Edicts. Playing the Ward is just asking to get blown out there. And we played this Shadow because even though we want to retake field lane at some point, we don't want to give them the opportunity to trade in and get a low-cost answer. Alright, so Archcannon was what they did get. They're going to Exalt it. This will get drained, and then they're going to whack me if I had to guess. Well, they might not whack me, but I suspect they will. Yeah, well, harpy that, because we're going to end up trading into this. So now our Baron is going to give us some value here. Because we can... I'd really love to get that Breton Conjurer on the board with Baron. So actually our choices are we could Baron and Breton Conjurer, but the reality is we really need to get rid of that. So
The best protection.
yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Baron gets us up to 3. Ward means it stays alive, and then we can combine it here with the Firebolt. This gets them down, but doesn't break a rune. Ultimately, I think this is still correct. We don't have a lot of ways to self-trigger Conjurer, so sometimes Baron giving it guard is a great way for you to kind of do it, but against Tribunal, like, we're going to play this, it's going to eat an Execute or something anyway. Investing too much into what you hope will work, not that great. So this is either going to draw a card or shackle something. Oh, they're just going to take the initial summon there, huh?
Careful
okay.
there, friend.
That's respectable. For sure. That's respectable for sure. We want to develop this turn, so then it just comes down to, do we want to tome and trade into this? I think that's the answer that we're looking for, so do the draw first.
Time to die. I'll teach you to
Push the damage, and then
My friend would like a word with them.
do this here. Hope they don't have the hard removal, but let's be honest, they do. But we would really like to make that 5/5. Like, we kind of desperately need that to go off. That reverberating strike was so rough, and there's the hard removal.
At the ready.
Interesting. So now we have this dilemma because we want to play Conjurer and Alfiq. But the reality is then we're just asking to get Dawn's Wrath. Now, we could use Lightning Bolt to self-trigger this, but then we lose a source of reach, which also feels pretty bad.
The elements are mine.
But it does guarantee we get the 5/5, which sets up both of these cards. This if the 5/5 dies, the Conjuring if it survives. I think that's the risk that we might just have to take. Like, it feels awful using a bolt in such a fashion, but I think we're gonna do it. This is what playing against Tribunal does to you. It makes you do things that you don't want to do. I mean, let's be honest, this was over from the moment we got Reverberating Strike. It was so bad. I mean, even a Lightning Bolt of their own gets rid of our 5/5, which is a bit of a bummer.
So little to do.
Oh, and they just dropped the Baron too, huh?
Must.
Okay. I see you. I see you.
You're mine now.
Now, we could play this and this, but we want this to die first. We're also fine with breaking runes. We don't care if they heal. In fact, I prefer this. I don't want them drawing more cards because I don't want them to find Dawn's Wrath. So we're going to do this to deny them from drawing from Thaden. I think they were banking on this keeping their health up and then these two high health creatures resulting in them drawing the extra card, but Yeah, and we forced a Wrath there. That's beautiful. It's not, you know, super ideal. What are they gonna go get now, huh? Arch Cannon's bad for us. That's actually a really good pickup for them. So that's fair. It's reasonable on their part. We have to hope they don't have a second Dawn's Wrath. We're gonna eat the Frosty. And if they have the second Dawn's Wrath, we just lose anyway. So we'll go ahead and do this. Like, they already had the Reverberating Strike, then they had the Dawn's Wrath. We want to load this up so that we can maybe draw cards from the Mania lane. And like I said, if they just have the Dawn's Wrath, we just lose anyway. So at this point, we need to start pushing damage. Alright, I can do this and then Ice Storm. It prevents me from, no, it won't prevent me from drawing. Unless they have a Firebolt with it, we'll still technically have the highest health creature here. So we do get this benefit, so that's kind of nice. And we can finally clean this up.
This might be handy.
Alright. So we have to assume Arch Cannon and at least something else will be coming down soon.
I am amazed.
Oh! Oh yeah, something is definitely coming down. That is a big threat. There's a big Sotha Sill. We're gonna see if we can find more answers. We were really hoping that this was gonna trigger, like, lethal would have been ideal. See, our biggest issue now is that we know that they can give one of these Drain. So we have to essentially still double trade into at least one of them, which feels bad, and then Harpy the other one. But it is just a requirement.
I'm
So
ready.
it only buys us a turn, but it does
Behold, my magnificent monster.
at least prevent them from draining. They do get to draw the extra card, though. There was no way we were going to prevent that. Sotha Sill was a blowout card, and oh, all right. Well, Tribunal's going to do Tribunal things again. It's a bad matchup for us. They had the reverb when they needed it. Yeah,
Let's
there's just
do
no way
the
that we can win
fist.
this now. I mean, we can do this. They're gonna gain at least 10 more health. They're already at 19, so this is over. They had the reverb when they needed it. They had the Dawn's Wrath when they needed it. And as I said at the top, it's Tribunal, right? If they have the answers when they need it, you just lose. And it's not something that you can really control. There's no way to play around it. Nothing that you can really do different. If they have it, they have it. So we'll take the L here and then just hope for a better matchup with our mid-range list this next turn. I mean, we gave ourselves some decent outs, I felt like. You guys think we can do 30 damage here? Do you think we can do 30 damage here? Yeah, me either. I mean, we can still have some fun though, right? Like,
I keep a spare blade in my belt.
Everything was taken from me. Today, I repay in kind. Khajiit will keep you safe.
we can still have some fun. We'll eat a storm to make a storm. So like we can give a ton of stuff guard, because why not? Doesn't matter, because with the breakthrough, one of these will just finish us off, but you know, we can have fun along the way. Alright. There you have it. We're down 1. We don't want to go 0-2. So we just have to hope that we don't find Tribunal. And then we'll have a good fighting chance So we're going to jump into the next game like we do. It's 2 games, win or lose. Alright. Whew. Had to hold my breath for a moment. Not Tribunal. Guildsworn can be a problem as well, don't get me wrong. This is not going to be a pushover, but I'm just happy to not see Tribunal. And we found a 1-drop. The rest of our hand is pretty garbage. Unless,
This might be
I was going to say unless we top deck stuff that helps us, but another lightning bolt is not really what we were hoping to find. Alright, so it's going to be an aggressive token-based Guildsworn, a Guild Swarm, if you will. Which makes me a little bit happy, because it's a deck that
I'm ready.
kind of pilot often, if you will. It's a favorite of mine. It's been a while since I featured it on the channel, but it is something that I enjoy. And alright, I was gonna say, and our hand was about to be pretty garbaggio there, but we found another play. Feels really bad when you're harping 1/1s, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
They will not get past me.
I mean, we would love to get this up and running. But we could also blackhand and save one of these, but I think actually we do just get this up and running, right? Getting value out of this now, I think, just makes a lot more sense.
I come bearing gifts.
So they're going to take this opportunity,
Bearing gifts.
push a bunch of damage. Oh, I'm so happy they loaded that up. Yeah, you got a lot of reach out of it, but Blackhand's going to help us out there. So this will help us dominate the shadow lane.
The Black Hand sees
Black Hand
all.
coming down. And the nice thing about Black Hand, again, I mentioned it I think earlier in the week, but the nice thing about Black Hand in this particular list is that this and Queen give you a lot of ways to kind of rebound, which is something that the blue decks traditionally lack. So if they leave this alone,
There's nowhere they can hide.
Say to Mean, Steel Dagger, that can really help us out. Wow, and they just concede. We don't even get the chance to drain. Oh, okay. Fair enough. So, not a game like our Tribunal game, which took forever. Very fast game. Very nice to get that win. I would have liked... I guess we'll pick this. I would have liked to have got this daily done by getting some drain in, but I guess we'll take what we can get. And that's it. That's 2 games, win or lose. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.